That's my show, Monday to Friday, um, Monday to Friday from 12 to 2. Yes. So hang in there.
Online, on the iOS and Android, on your mobile phones, Bengali's biggest conversation around the globe. This is Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Yep. You know, it's Andrew on Relax Radio. We have a good time over here, and we won't be together for the next couple of minutes. Not minutes as such, but I mean, there's a difference between 59 minutes and 1 hour. And do you know what's the difference? It's just a couple of seconds. But yeah, we're gonna be together for this whole time. So lock yourself down and uh hold it down, and I'm sure you don't get lost in the whole situation, you know. But hey, we're still looking for Cairo. Is it Cairo? Um we are out here looking for a lady, a beautiful lady that got lost in on Saturday morning. The police have launched an urgent appeal after a 24-year-old woman from Newham has been reported missing. Kayon. Oh yeah. I thought why was I saying Karen? Yeah. Kayon was last spotted in Marketplace, Westminster at 3:40 a.m. on Saturday. You know, so we appeal to everybody that has seen her. Or she was you know she was dressed in a short skirt, and she was out there having a good time in early hours of the morning. So if you have seen her somewhere, she was dressed in a short dress, pink dress, yes, and she was in heels and did her hair. She was looking all nice. I'm sure y'all have seen her in the club or somewhere, because from the pictures I've seen, she was looking like she was after having a good time. You know, it's crazy as it seems, but um, people are actually looking for her. I think she's not been found. So if you out there seen her, or you know her whereabouts, I think contact her parents or the police, so that you can you know make things easy for everybody. So I was just thinking to myself how such things that we need to have a conversation about, and how why is it people only can be reported missing after 48 hours? Why is it? Because I mean, 48 hours is a crucial time for somebody who's lost. And imagine you've just got lost, and in 48 hours a lot can happen in 48 hours. And for someone to actually start looking for you after 48 hours, you could be dead. If you were kidnapped, you could be dead. I suppose also maybe it's probably uh anybody who knows information along these lines, reach out in the comment section and enlighten us on uh how this works. Because in America, this has been ruled out as a myth, to say that these movies actually give a misconception of how things need to go. Because you know a film, a narrative needs to follow sort of we a film sometimes make mistakes, but people enjoy the film so much that they end up following uh the film's truth as it being realistic, and it being real. And I just watched a film by what's his name, uh, Gerard Butler, the other day. I think it's Last Seen Alive, and you know, the wife goes missing at a filling station, and he just goes on a mayhem looking for his wife, and he didn't uh, wait for any 48 hours or any but then it's from what I remember my experience. uh I called the police and mentioned to them that somebody was lost, and they had to highlight to me that 48 remember the 48-hour rule. So I want to understand, what is the 48-hour rule, and what is the reasoning behind this whole situation. And we could, for those that know, you could share your information, and you know uh, in the comment section, and tell us on what is the reasoning behind it. Is it real? Is it true? And what's your experience on it? And let's get talking. So that's one thing. And then sometimes people are thought to be lost, but they probably at their friends. So you know you never know, like situation like this one. Somebody just went A situation like this one went to sleep over at the friends. I mean, those are the times about 4 a.m. when you leave the club and head to the hotel. Not to say, a guy took her to the hotel, but I mean, if she went to a hotel, she booked into a hotel somewhere, and then she slept, or maybe one of her friends took her to. But I mean, she would be reported having missing if absolutely nobody knew. It's crazy. It's crazy how it seems. Is I think this whole idea of your phone battery needs to be sorted. I mean, we take pictures from time to time, but I mean, when you go out, you need to be able to have some phone battery for after the club, you know, so that you're able to call an Uber. Or I've had so many situations where uh, you couldn't call the Uber because the battery was out, and then it gets a bit scary and a bit weird, and you can't call the Uber, and next thing you have to try sort yourself out in one way or another, and things get a bit get crazy sometimes, but such things happen. And s- sometimes maybe the 48 hours means we need to understand that some people drink and knock out. You knock out, you wake up the next day, you go out, and you go out on Friday night, you knock out, and you only wake up at Saturday at about 6. you know so should I report that you're missing because but sometimes you have kids that just come out of the house. Once they come out of the house, uh, you know, get lost in the mix of things, and maybe they end up in the next door neighbor, and things are misunderstood, but the kid is well taken care of. You see, so once reported missing, it becomes an issue for police to deal with. But then, if the kids is there, then everything nice. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting topic to say. Why do we have to wait for 48 hours after someone has gone missing? Uh, just let us know in the comment section on why is what's the reasoning behind it, and is it true or is it a myth? Because from what I've picked up from the net, in America, it's a myth. You know, you report the case, and because that's the crucial stage of somebody getting lost. That's the time when a lot of things happen. Imagine 48 hours and you're worried about how your son is lost. How do you feel? What are you thinking? How is the person lost dealing with the situation? So, so those are such things that uh, 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 are highlighted in all this that we're discussing. Uh, what is what are the things that influence the 48 hours on from the police side, reasoning for their side, and for the people looking for the person missing and the person missing himself? What are those things? So let us know what you think. You know, yes, because she was reported missing. I've been missing at one point, and I had to like I was in a police custody, and in a state. So in that state, they had to not tell. And another thing is that's in question is, why is that when one reports someone missing, uh, if a second person calls to say so and so is missing, and if it's in the records, they do not disclose that information to the next person. Yeah, I don't know why that happens, but it was so interesting for me to know that it's that's how the system works. So I want to know the reasoning behind every one of these things. Why is that we have to sort of, what's the protocol, and why is it like that, and what's the reasoning behind the whole situation? Uh, Fill up the comment section, guys, and let us know. Share with us some of that information that you know, and we are in a better space so that we understand why things happen the way they do. And you know, um, we are living in an age of information. So if you are missing information, you are in a space where you operate uh, to a certain level and not to your full potential. And yes, so let us know what that means, and how, why is it meant to be that way, and how um, it happens the way it happens. Yep. So in the meantime, while you think about this, and fill up the comment section, we're going to go on a short break. And here we go. Here we go.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis, a pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep, it's the Relax Radio, and I'm back. And it's that time of the day where you have Andrew, Lunch Much Man, and Lunch Much Show, Monday to Friday, and we have a good time over here. So I'm sure you already know, and it's crazy as it seems, but you know, I have a good time. I have a good time, but we need to talk about real things sometimes, and these issues of concern that we need to address. And one of these issues on a national space is that the girl child. You know, the girl child is of concern as at the moment. It's you know the girl child is lost, and her being lost, she needs to be found, and this is just one of the things that we need to think about the girl child as a whole. And you know, hold on. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Um, the girl child is a concern at the moment because um, this already is a highlight of a girl child in a space, and in a space uh, that's got us concerned that you know she's lost, and she's vulnerable, and at this point in time we need to really look after her, not just her that's lost, but that girl child that's there, all children who are girls. So um having said that, you know there are issues that affect women uh, that come from a younger age and with experience. So some of the things being wanted, sort of being uh, not wanted as such, but being able to fit in, which also affects the boy child. But what made me raise this is that one of the girls on TikTok says to the world through TikTok that girls, boys never looked at me at school. You see, so that is can be misinterpreted, can be interpreted in so many ways. Because from reading that myself or from seeing that, I realized that I mean, it's natural that every woman feels whole by certain features, by certain experiences. So, for instance, it comes a time when I suppose majority would say 75%. I know some people say uh, I don't mind, but I think at the age of 40, when you don't have a child, I think you start to either wonder, because I think as a woman you feel, or you think that you need to fulfill your womanhood by bearing a child. So such things are present in our society, and we need to be able to have a communication, have a conversation with the subject, and highlight the subject. And so a girl child who is thinking that boys didn't look at me while I was in school, uh it brings the idea that she may have transformed, and her transformation was influenced by wanting to fit in, you know. So her wanting to fit in uh, made it transform in a way that she felt, you know what, I want to be attractive to boys. So is that ideal, or it's something that is not necessary? But then again, you grow up as a woman, and if you say that it's not ideal, you say get the woman to get herself together, go to school, do whatsoever we say. But then comes that same woman at the age of 40 without a child. Is she in a good space? You know what I mean? Because uh, she is living a situation, she's living a life where she has troubles, and such are the troubles that are affecting women. You know what I mean? So it's an open discussion for anybody who has something to say to fill up the comment section to say what their views are on this topic, and then is what on what I've just highlighted. Because we have a girl child which is of concern to us, because at the end of the day, we are here to discuss in the Lunchman Show. I don't mean to sound that deep, but this is a conversation that me and you can have, that you and I could help the next person uh, discover the missing piece. Of course, you can plan and say, no, I want to, prepare myself, be ready when I'm ready. But let's not overlook that at the age of 40, when the body clock is quarter to no more babies, it's the time when we start getting worried, and we start getting um, uh, concerned, and it becomes a whole new ball game when we have to deal with the whole situation. So uh hay fever is not messing with me. Yeah. So the irritation of my nose is serious. But anyway, so having said that, uh what are the things that as I've highlighted, a young girl says the boys were not looking at me when I was in high school. So I suppose that at high school, uh, girls are already expecting to be seen. And I mean, once they hit puberty, they start, flaunting their behind, and their body, and all these appearances, and all that. Now, if that's the case, I suppose it's a natural phase. But then, if one is advised to look after himself first, and don't worry about the boys, and get on with your own life, and do what is pleases you, and make yourself happy before you find a man, because marriage is a whole lot of trouble, and you're living with somebody else, and you have to think about the other person first. You need to respect them, and make them happy, and respect them, and and then comes the the idea that look after yourself before you find yourself in that trouble. Because a lot of people say marriage is trouble, but well, I think marriage has its own rules, and when you come into it, you need to be prepared to go by those rules. Otherwise, it becomes tough. So, and those rules are made by two people. Those rules are made by two people. That's you and your partner. You know what I mean? So it's it requires understanding between the two parties. You know what I mean? So anyway, the girl child is of concern because you know she is saying you know she is thinking what happens. Like, I've been out in high school, and I've been coming home, haven't had a shower, and um, put a roll on my armpits, and a bit of makeup there, and then probably no makeup, and you guys didn't check on me. You guys didn't check me out, but I'm out here on TikTok, and looking good and looking fresh. Y'all are now in the comment section and giving all them likes. You know, so it's a concern because it's like, hold on. So are you worried about that? Are you doing things just for or you doing everybody what everybody's doing, and then all of a sudden they like what you're doing? So hear me out here, trying to find out what's really going on because it's a concern for the girl's child. I mean, how did we end up here? Because you know we just followed the rules and got on with it. I'll be back after a break.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis. A Pro Analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis, a pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep, we are back. Yeah, we're still concerned about the girl child, and I mean, it's the things that come up, and so I was thinking, when girl that was a really tomboy back in high school, that was out there hanging with the boys, and then we ain't checking you out. We ain't checking you out. And then if you then become somebody and you try to do all these different things, the girl things that you start doing all this makeup thing and start wearing all these different dresses. It's like, come on, you're still my dude. You're still my dude because like I know you as my boy. Like we still, it's crazy how when they transform, um when they transform and become all girly now, and they're having kids, and all figure out, and the body like hourglass, but then you was wearing track bombs, and you was and then all of a sudden they want us to treat you like want us to treat us like ladies. Yes, you're a lady, but we treat you like lady when it comes to all the physical, but it's just while we talking, you're my bro. You're my bro. It's like when the gentlemen come and have a conversation and you're part of us, we'll not care about how we feel about our women. We'll tell you what it is. you know, Sometimes I think those are the type of people real man need to marry. Be friends with one of them tomboy growing up kids, and then that's your dude. You're messing around, you're playing pillow fight, or if you marry a girl that had a bunch of brothers. I used to see my brother doing all these things. Oh yeah, let's do them together and let's have fun. That's the type of people you break up and still have a conversation with and say, oh yeah, you're still my dude, but we just can't sleep together anymore. But I've never understood how one can still have a conversation with their ex. It's and just an interesting topic to have, to say we were friends and you became my ex. We were friends first. We decided, because all it is just saying now we can go into bed together. And then when that happens, things go left and one has to get out of bed. And I've never understood how, um, you know, some man will tend down engaging in activity in a bed with a woman because they've become that much friends. And I have a few friends like that. It's like if ever they had to come to me and say, would you want some of that? I'd be like, what? I mean, I'm married now, but I mean, in back in time, I would it would just be too much of a surprise and overwhelming that it just wouldn't work. But some people is well, it depends on the level of friendship as well. To say, how did you come to offer me some of that? You know what I mean? Is how do you come to offer me some of that? I'm sure y'all have friends who is a bestie for so long, and people are thinking that you guys are together, but you're just thinking, I can't. There are some who you can never think of. And then there are some who you can think of, but she can't think of. But because she's told you she can't think of, you calm yourself down and tell yourself, I don't want to embarrass myself. I know, I know, I know these couple guys will feel what I'm saying. I mean, you're thinking to yourself, what if, what if I could, you know? But she doesn't think that way, and you're thinking to yourself, nah, nah. If I try and fail, I'm just gonna be an embarrassment to myself. It could mess up our friendship. And then there's some that you don't even think at all, but everybody thinking you're wasting time and all that. And when you get to the boys club, you think, so have you? No, 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 I haven't done it. What? What you mean? You let the team down. But yeah, some of those things that happen, it's life and circumstances don't allow, and being the person you are, it just doesn't make sense because sometimes you look at a woman and think maybe that situation could mess up a whole situation. So would I rather try and risk something and it fails, or should I just forget about it and get the best of us? You know what I mean? So that comes up in our mindset as boys, and you know, um, such is life. And you continue to live thinking the one that got away. And you see you married one time, and she introduced you to her husband, like, this is my friend James, and you think, yeah, I know you may have tried it. I can see your face. That it's interesting is, guys, we can pick up the energy from you being introduced to my wife, as to say, it's either you have tried it on my wife, or you've tried and failed, or you've you had your time. So don't ever misbehave and give off the wrong energy, because we catch that. We got the feelers because we man. You know what I mean? Yeah, and such is life. So look after the girl child, and um, inform her of the little things that are happening. If you got brothers, if you got little sisters and little cousins, inform them on how men think, and you know on how men think, and the way they think will help you understand how to carry yourself among men or around men, that sort of thing. So it's actually ideal for us to share this information, because things are happening to the girl child as well as the boy child. So we need to communicate. If you got family that's female, speak to them. If you got family that's male, speak to them, educate them, and make them aware of how the opposite gender thinks and how they operate. I mean, the harsh realities, because many times we sort of live by the sweet things, the sweet nothings, and the hopes that we hope life is sweet. No, it's not sweet. It's just worth it. You know what I mean? So once we adapt to the idea that life is worth it, then we'll be able to face the challenges that come with it. You know, because the last thing you want is being in a position where they didn't tell me. When will they tell you? you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. When will they tell you? It's very much not easy for a lot of people. And now, you know, ladies, young ladies are engaging with way older men because of circumstances. You know, um, it's um, it's all over the world, and the big guys are sort of luring these young girls with cash. Then they because the narrative that is being sold is that women need money, want money. So these big guys that have money reach out to these young girls and lure them with money. And when they lure them with money, they fall for bait and find themselves in predicaments. And all in the name of trying to get better. You mean the situation in Dubai, you know, people are getting paid silly money just to come and do performances that are, uh, you know, that are out of this world. Where, how would you want yourself get a pooed on? Someone pooing on you, and because it's fetish, and they give you some change, you know. How do we end up? How did we end up here? Someone out there is wanting to become somebody, and then because you've got the nice features, so you sign up to go to Dubai, get paid, and somebody shits on you, poos on you, and they poo on you, and they give you some paper. How did we come here? So I continue to say, let's look after the girl child, because if you don't look after your own, they're gonna be looked after by somebody else, and it's gonna come at a price. You know, um, it's not safe in the streets. You know, and people are sad. And it's become a vicious cycle, such that if you connect into the circle, it becomes a vicious one, because you come out of the circle trying to settle with your husband or wife, and you've got these traits that um, are following you. Okay, let's go on a short break.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep, it's the last round. It's the third, fourth quarter of the hour, and it's crazy as it seems. It's been a good time, and I'm seeing all the I mean the viewers from from the beginning showing up and showing up as many as in numbers as possible by eventually. you know. Yeah, so Dr. Dre saying how he's got 247 songs he made during the pandemic. You know, it's quite interesting for one to make. Well, I suppose one could do that, but of course, not all of them are going to be bangers. But he was confident on some of his songs that they were quite good. Um, he was saying how he did some songs with Snoop, he did some songs with Busta Rhymes, he did some songs with a few more other artists, and he did the Grand Theft Auto soundtrack during that time, which we wait for them to be released. But where's the detox? You know, we've been waiting for the detox for so long. It's like we keep seeing all these different um albums that are not quite the detox, but are supposed to be some of Dre's work. You know, it's it's interesting how perfectionists or artists who want the best out of themselves and for the art form, hold on release dates. Sometimes it's crazy how releasing date is plays a vital impact on how everything is received as your art form. Because one, you could, I think the aim is to release when there's a vacuum, and it's something that fill the space. You know what I mean? Your art fill the space in time, and it easily connects with a lot of people because it's something that's missing. There's something missing, and then you need to be able to. Sometimes when you bring something different, it's even the biggest stars, when they release something different, it's sometimes perceived as like how, like what are you trying to do? Because I mean, some people are that confident, like people like Eminem can release an album today, and it doesn't really matter, people just connect with it and buy it, and you know but sometimes not all fans do, because there's some artists where I think, hold on, when did this album come out? you know so it's sometimes as an artist you think to yourself, right, well, even movies, books, to any art form, you just have to sort of align yourself with the time to release, and because ultimately it's a business, so you hope um your song or your art connects with a lot more people. So it's that situation where I come back to the idea of art, that in creativity, I mean, you have to create some when you're creating something, you have to put in mind what are the audience going to benefit from what you're doing. So the more you think that the audience will benefit, the more it's going to sell, the more you're going to connect with people. It's like Christmas carols, the Christmas albums. You know that if you release it in November time, it's going to connect with a lot of people, because that's the time when they want to listen to all these Christmas songs. So it's gonna benefit a lot of people to have something played during Christmas time when they're with family or stores. You know, when the stores are people are doing their Christmas shopping. They can play your song, and so it's not just people at home; it's also the stores that are benefiting from your Christmas songs. So when you do all these things, you need to consider who is going to benefit and how many people are going to benefit from whatever you're doing. Then you can think about releasing, because at this point you've done your groundwork to see who's going to benefit from your situation. So um, once you do that, see who's going to benefit from it, and see how it connects with other people. Then think about releasing the piece of work. You know, it's it's things that we overlook because we think, this is ready. No, is the market ready for you? You know what I mean? You can't release a Christmas song at Easter time. You would have balls to do that. It's, say, listen, you can keep it until it's Christmas, and then you can listen to it. You know, you, you would have done some research that would take you to some place that's uh, and then you ask yourself, who would someone like Dr. Dre go on verses with? You know, um, Timberland, or because you need a producer, somebody who's produced some songs and they've held the mic for a minute, because I mean you can't be on the turntables the whole time. You need to sort of go onto the stage and bust a few rhymes to your songs. I think we saw recently Mario and it was Mario versus can't remember the other guy. That's how you know. Yeah, but yeah. So some of these things are there for us to see, and see the crazy and see the good thing. And I seen also they were pushing the idea that Mariah tried with Beyonce, and I was like, is that what we need at this point? We don't want to walk away disappointed because two of the biggest people that we think, in a way, have, because we want to walk away. This business, it was for the culture. No, 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 no. Let's not lie to ourselves. We walk away knowing who was really outperformed the other. So we don't want to walk away out seeing knowing one of them outperform, because we lose that person and they have to come back after 5 years to say, there was an era where we lost a couple of artists of that nature. We lost Kerry Wilson. We lost, well, we didn't lose Ciara, but like it became a, a hard road, and people wasn't really checking it much. Once Beyonce just stood up there and just said, "I'm the one," and anything that Beyonce brings out is the one. You know what I mean? And but that's how it works in the music industry, and everything that you do is you need to do it right and release it right time, because if you don't, uh, we will be here just forgetting about you. And if you get knocked out, sometimes love knocks, it knocks you down, and you can get up, and it knocks you down. You know, so don't get knocked down. You know, create your art. Think of a release day and release it at the right time. You know, it's some of the things that we overlook. But anyway, it's the time when I have to say I love you and I have to leave you. It's Andrew, Relax Radio, Lunch Munch Show, Monday to Friday. Meet you same time, same place tomorrow.